Throughout human history, we have been exposed to one type of specific conflict: good versus evil, the hero versus the villain, yin versus yang. But in today's modern world, we're exposed to a more complex idea of conflict, the idea of gray areas, the idea that there's no such thing as absolute evil or good on either side of a war. But there are those groups, mainly in fiction, that are completely and utterly irredeemable. And in this video, we'll be listing down the top 3 most justifiable acts of genocide in anime. Disclaimer: I do not support any type of genocide whatsoever, so please understand that this is simply and merely for entertainment. Alright, let's hop in. First and foremost, we have the Goblins from Goblin Slayer. Now, these creatures are the pinnacle of irredeemable. We learned early on that the main character, Goblin Slayer, is devoted to killing goblins for one single purpose: how dangerous they are to the common people. Now, in this world, goblins aren't seen as a major threat until you experience them yourself. These goblins have 3 things that they do mainly. They come to kill, steal, and destroy. They have the atrocious act of kidnapping female humans and defiling their bodies for the act of reproduction. Now understand, they do this because all goblins are males. Unlike their friendly neighborhood counterparts from the universe of reincarnated as slime, they have no female goblins, so they need to survive by kidnapping human women. They come merely to kill, steal, and destroy. To kill all the men, to destroy all of their villages, and to steal all the women. Everything. The Goblin Slayer himself said that these creatures are unredeemable. Yes, some of them might seem cute or cuddly when they're young and babies, but they hold grudges. If you do not kill them off, they will remember your name, your face, your scent, and will come with a vengeance. The goblins are also quite intelligent. Not as smart as human beings, but still quite intelligent. Understand the art of war. They know when they are outnumbered. The bigger the horde, the more ambitious they become. They go from trying to take over a village to take over an entire town, and maybe even perhaps a kingdom if they get big enough. They are unredeemable simply because they can't be reasoned with. We can't ask them to stop stealing the women and killing the children because it's simply what they need to do to survive. Therefore, they are guilty. Sentence: racial extinction. Number 2. The demons from Frieren the Slave. Now, these demons are truly irredeemable. But unlike our last entry, not because they're evil or, villainous. In fact, it's quite the opposite. They are not evil in the slightest. They're not good either. They are simply wild beasts. In the episode where Frieren first meets the first demon since Himmel died, she instantly points at him with her staff with a desire to kill him on sight. He comes forward to her when she's grounded by the castle guards or the city guards, and then he asks her, "Why do you look at me like I'm a beast?" And she replies, "Aren't you?" You see, the way these things are is that they are actually wild animals, creatures, beasts, predators that simply have the ability to mimic human speech and human emotion. Now, don't misunderstand. They understand what emotions are. They simply don't have them. In the scene where that same demon is talking to the king or the lord of the town, he starts to throw around the word father. My father did this, my father did that, my father did this. And when they leave the room, one of the demon subordinates asks him, "My lord, what does father mean?" And this nigga says, "I don't know." It's simply a word that invokes emotions within human beings. These creatures understand that these words, father, mother, love, family, can invoke human beings' emotions within human beings and prevent them from killing them. Demons are wild creatures. They're no different from a lion hunting its prey by hiding in the grass. See, demons are closer to being the anglerfish within the deep seas that uses the light from its light bulb to attract smaller fish and eat them when they're close enough. They're simply beasts, not monsters, but beasts. Human emotion, human speech, familiar words, father, mother, mercy, kindness, are all nothing but tools to help them catch more prey. No matter how young, no matter how old, no matter how innocent looking, they are all beasts, wild creatures. The same way that you wouldn't trust your child with a tiger or a lion, you can't trust them around these demons. They have one desire: devour human flesh. They cannot be reasoned with because we are the only thing that they're known to eat, and they refuse to eat anything else. I understand that the idea of wiping out this species of demons would make any kind of person uncomfortable, simply because of the fact that they look human. Besides having horns, that's the only difference they have between the normal human being. They look like them, like us. Therefore, it would be hard. But do not be fooled. These creatures are not misunderstood. They're not tragic characters seeking redemption. They are nothing but beasts, monsters wanting to eat upon our flesh. Therefore, their punishment is racial extinction. It's us or them. Last but not least, this is a bit of a messy one, but the Titans from Attack on Titan. Now, I understand, but at the end of the series, we all know that they are all actually human beings who were turned into Titans. But before that, there was no way to cure them. It was in fact uncertain if Eren himself could turn them back into people, until he did at the end of the series. But otherwise, there seemed to be no cure for becoming a Titan. That's why it was so scary to turn into a Titan. It was essentially a death sentence. These creatures were wild, uncontrollable, and had this almost obsessive desire to consume human flesh. For most of the series, they were the greatest enemy to Eren and the gang. They were monsters to be slain, just that restricted the freedom of humanity within the walls. If they were not around, Eren and his friends would have been freed a long time ago. Now, it is kind of hard to commit genocide simply because they were, at some point, normal human beings who were forced to become Titans. But without the power of the founding Titan, genocide was the only way to save mankind. It's once again them or us, man versus nature. They tried to kill us, and we had to fight back. And for that crime, their sentence is racial extinction. Alright, that's the end of the video. If you guys have any more, the last one, Attack on Titan, kind of like, didn't really seem that much to me. Because when I say genocide, I mean we had to wipe out another intelligent species. The demons, the goblins, that's genocide. I don't know if I consider the third one, the Titan genocide, because that just seemed like extinction to me. We don't call it genocide when you wipe out the dodo birds, it's just extinction. They were just hunted to extinction. But anyway, if you guys have any more creatures or groups or races or species in anime, monsters, demons, that have to be wiped out in any kind of anime, link them down and I might do another part 2 to this, I guess. Yeah, that's about it. Thank you. Please like, subscribe, and goodbye, good night. God bless.